Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a show we're calling KMS Who's Who, Star Wars Edition. Now, I got the idea from this show from a tweet from Minners this morning, who was criticizing the producers for their lazy attempt at Star Wars programming by watching TV all day. So I thought, what would be something even lazier that could be KMS and Star Wars related? So what we're doing here is we're taking 15 real people from the KMS world, and we'll be telling you their Star Wars character equivalent. So let's just get started right away. This should be short, 5 to 10 minutes. I want to be done before my wife starts wondering where I am and finds me up here in the attic with a Kylo Ren mask on. So let's get started. First off, we'll go with Kirk. Kirk is powerful. Everybody's kind of afraid of him, so it makes perfect sense that he is Darth Vader. He is always the best part of every show that he's in and movie that he's in. So that's Darth Vader. Next up, we have Blind Mike. Now, I thought a lot about this one. I was thinking about Han Solo would have been a good pick here, but I thought of going with a very obvious choice. The character from the animated show Rebels. If you haven't seen the show, there's a Jedi in it named Kanan who goes blind in the 4th episode. So I thought, why not Kanan and Blind Mike? Because they're both blind. Next up, we go to Big Steve. This was a fun one. I was settled on Boba Fett. Not that Book of Boba Fett crap, but pre-Zarlak bit Boba Fett. He's a bounty hunter. He'll do anything for money, but he also gets the job done and gets it done right and on time. You can always count on Big Steve if you're paying him money. Next up, another producer, Cullinane. Dave Cullinane. Now, one thing we know about Dave is he's always on his phone texting while he's driving. So I tried to think of what Star Wars character is always on the phone while he's flying. And we'll go to Empire Strikes Back for that with Lobot. He's got those things on his ears, always talking to people, ready to go when he's flying around. And as a bonus, he's bald, so that helps. Staying in the producer world, we'll go to Coleman. Now, this one's a bit of a deep cut, but we're going to say, as we know about Coleman, we know he's ready to jump to macrodosing as soon as given the opportunity. So I'm choosing Pong Krell from Clone Wars. And he was a Jedi who got a better offer from the Empire, so he turned on his clone squadron, and they ended up killing him. So now we'll jump over to Justin. Now there's the obvious choice for Justin is Padme, grooming 8-year-old Anakin. A little too obvious, a little too on the nose. So I thought I'd go with Chewbacca. He's big, he's furry, lovable, loyal, best friend you've got. And he's pretty good with tech. He can get the Millennium Falcon going most times. Kind of like Justin, he'll get that stream up, 7 out of 10 times. You can count on him. Next, we'll jump over to Clemmer. I thought about an IG unit. It's tall, lanky. It's a little too productive for Clemmer, though. I thought of those Genosin bug things, but I found the Caminos were a little weirder shaped than them. So I thought Camino, whatever those creatures are called, look very weird and like Clemmer. Now we'll go to sometimes guest Jared Carabas. One thing we know about Jared is he will, do anything to his body to get stronger. Steroids. I guess not anything, pretty much just steroids. So that let me think of all back to Clone Wars, Savage Opress, who was made stronger by, I think it was the Night Sisters, made him, did this spell and made him really powerful. Now we'll go to the Commissioner, Jeff D. Lowe. We'll go to episode 1 for this one. If you remember that Trade Federation guy, there's 2 of them, and they're always talking about boring stuff. Now, the thing about Jeff, when he calls in, he'll give you good information. He'll move the plot along for the show, and it's necessary, but at the end of the day, we're not really that interested in what he has to say. Speaking of not being interested in what they have to say, we'll go to Steve from Gloucester, and also back to episode 1. Let's see, Jar Jar Binks. He's been an important part of the show. Jar Jar was a key player in Phantom Menace. And he talks funny, and whenever he's on screen, everybody wants him to go away. So that's Steve for us. Now we got Gus. Gus is R2-D2. He's always around. He's fun to be around. Everybody likes him, and he's the handiest guy in the tech you've got. You know, if the Falcon breaks down, X-Wing breaks down, you know Gus is gonna fix it. He'll get that stream going. He'll get that buzz stopped. Nobody's better than Gus with that. Now we go on to Minners, and this one we'll go to Return of the Jedi. Now people like to really bag on the Ewoks there, so I thought Minners is Wicket. Everybody's sort of annoyed by them, but he's also cute, lovable. They were a big part of, you know, the Battle of Endor, taking on Death Star 2. So I have a Wicket there from Minners. Next, we go to Rico, Rico Bosco. What we know about Rico, he's not loyal. If he sniffs more money or more prestige or power, he's going to take that offer. And that's Lando. You know, he'll sell out his friends to get a little more cheese from Darth Vader and the Empire. We've got a couple more left. We'll round it out with Dave Portnoy. That is Jabba the Hutt. He's in charge. He's got money. He's got power. And just like Jabba, you know, his favorite hobby is going to be his downfall. And that is obviously chaining up scantily clad women. And we'll round out our 15 KMS Star Wars characters with Mama K. If you follow her on Twitter, you know the kind of things she posts. And her obvious choice here is Bosk. And I hope this picture will make it obvious as to why. Well, thank you for joining and watching along. Hope you get some good Star Wars and KMS content out of this. Have a good night, everybody.